And welcome inside the Schaefer Center here in the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University here in Waxahachie, Texas, where today Lady Lions volleyball in action again against the Oklahoma City University Stars. And hello everybody, Rob Price here, along with my partner Devin Gwines. And Devin, SAGU comes to this game just a click above 500, 14-13 on the season, 7-6 in Sooner Athletic Conference play. Meanwhile, the Stars sit at 16-11, 7-5 in conference play. The Lions have dropped the last two matches in conference play in the Sooner. However, they have secured a spot in postseason play. All-time series, OKC leads at 7-1. SAGU's last one did come in 2012. Devin, this is one of those teams that we could face again really soon, maybe even in round one in the postseason tournament.
And knowing that in postseason, there's not much you can do to change up your system. So what's going to happen to prepare us to play this team again in postseason, we're just going to need to find a key player tonight that we can really shut down if we play them again next week. And if that happens, then we'll be able to kind of switch up our defense and our offense to go off of them, because they'll probably keep their system solidified.
Well, tonight is the last regular season home game here in the Schaefer Center, which means it's a very special night for the 6 seniors. We've got parents coming in, family, friends, all on hand to honor some very special Lady Lions. Would you walk us through some of these players? You play with most of these girls who are going to be walking away this May graduation.
I did. I came in as a freshman with a lot of these seniors tonight, so it's really special to be able to watch them play. Let's take a look at their stats, their career stats. Taylor Calverley, a name not a stranger to this broadcast, a total of 4,665 assists and 269 kills and 1,066 digs. So Taylor really was an all-around player for us here at the Lady Lions. Cassie Cox, number 11, 1,245 kills on her season and 332 total blocks. And we've seen so many times in these games Cassie just being a powerhouse at the net. Alyssa Kirk, a strong defensive player with 592 digs, really making her presence known on the back row. Becca Dollar with 154 digs, also being a consistent server this season, coming in, serving those balls, playing defense and going out, really being consistent with that. Brittany Briggs with 794 digs and 66 serving aces, of 918 career serving percentage. She was serving really high, another consistent server for us. And Amanda Laney, coaching this season, she did have a lot of high stats while she was here. 316 kills and 147 digs in only 2 seasons playing here.
She's now on the bench as an assistant coach for Coach Moore. Now, let's have some fun with numbers, because we can. Calverley could reach the 5,000 assist number if the following thing happens. If her team goes deep into postseason tournament play in the Sooner Athletic Conference and then plays in either the NCCAA tournament or the NAIA tournament. So you've got 3 regular season games. If you go to round 2 in one tournament, like the NCCAA, and maybe again in the Sooner, that's 7 matches total. If each match averages about 4 sets, and we've done the math here at SAGU Sports Live, Calverley would just need to average about 12 assists per set. Not an easy road, but a very possible one. Do you think it's within her reach to get 12 per set?
Well, I think she's really exemplified what it means to be a great setter, and I think she's been all around consistent, and she really knows where to place the ball to get those kills down to the court. So I don't think it's too big of a task for her to really accomplish. I think she can definitely do it.
Using the same scenario, Cassie Cox will need to register about 9 kills a set to reach 1,500 kills in her career. 9 kills a set seems maybe a bit tougher than getting 12 assists a set. What do you think?
I think that's exactly right. Taylor has a much better chance of getting 12 assists. She's got 3 players to choose from on the front row all the time.
True.
And sometimes a back row player if she throws up a set to the back row. Cox only has those times that Calverley will set to her, so it's a little bit harder, but she can definitely do it. And all 6 of these seniors that we've talked about tonight have made great contributions to the Lady Lions volleyball program. And with that, it's pretty easy to claim that Calverley and Cox will be really hard to replace. And yes, while they're great players individually, I think what will be hardest to replace for them is their duo, because we've seen how they've just gelled together. and been so consistent in getting that play, that slide play especially.
Yeah.
They just really know each other well as players, so replacing them as a duo will be extremely difficult.
It's one of those scenarios where those two players really made each other better from day one, the moment they stepped on this campus. A la Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. You go down the line of the greatest duos in court play, basketball, volleyball, and they're definitely one of those as well. Well, let's take a look now at conference standings in the Sooner Athletic Conference. You'll see on your screen there, OBU number 8, right on top as usual all season long. They sit at 13-0, undefeated. Number 17, Wayland Baptist has number 2 locked up. And then a 3-way tie for third, Devin. Oklahoma City, we play them tonight. Texas Wesleyan and John Brown all stand at 7-5. SAGU's at 6th place, just a half a game out of that bottleneck.
And let's talk about the strengths of OKC. They definitely have some strong ones tonight. Danielle Robinson leads the Sooner Athletic Conference in aces per game, so she'll definitely be someone to watch from that back line tonight. Kristen Macy leads their team in kills. She had 20 in one game last time that they played us here. And that last match was a thriller with the Stars winning in 3-1. But nearly every single set went to extra points. And an interesting number here is that OKC only outscored SAGU by just 5 points over those 4 sets, 102-97. So you can't really play a team much closer than that.
That's about as close as you can get, and they're back here tonight for another match here on the Schaefer Center. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with senior night festivities, and then volleyball. You're watching the SAGU Sports Network.
That may sound cliche, but it is so true. You always shower me with encouraging words, smiles, big hugs, and I love yous, even though I may not deserve it. What I've always loved about you is that you never let anything hold you back from cheering as loud as you can for my team. And me, even if that means that you have hurt yourself by thrusting your wrist into the wall in the middle of a big rally. Thank you so much for all of your support and for cheering your little heart out at my games throughout the years. Dad, it seems like it was just yesterday that you were making all these volleyball contraptions for Carly and me, like the volleyball hanging from the basketball goal, so we could have a better approach and a solid arm swing. You put forth so much time and effort towards helping me become a better volleyball player. I thank you for all of the dollar boot camps you pushed me through, even though I may not have liked it at the time. I sure do appreciate it, and now I can say that I have no regrets. I love you both with all my heart, and I thank God every day for blessing me with the best parents in the world. I would also like to thank my favorite sister, Carly Reynolds, and a shout out to my brother-in-law, Trace. Trace, thank you for coming to my games and for being so hilarious. Carly, we have been through so much, and I can honestly say that most of my favorite memories throughout my life were when we were the dollar duo out on the court. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have thought that volleyball was cool in the first place. If you jumped off the staircase, I jumped off the staircase. If you tried out for cheerleader, I tried out for cheerleader. If you play select volleyball, I'm going to play select volleyball. You have obviously been an amazing role model in my life, and I thank you for taking on the role of being my big sister. I love you so much. I would also like to give a huge shout out to the coolest football player in the whole world, Ramsey Sanchez. Thank you for getting me pumped up before each game, encouraging me to get as many ace cakes as I can, and always treating me like a princess. I love you. Also a big thanks needs to go out to my roomie and best friend, Caitlin Hudson, and soon to be Miss Hannah. You have always known how to brighten up my day and make me laugh. I am truly blessed to have a friend like you in my life that continues to lift my spirits, and I'm so happy that the Lord's will is being done in both of our lives. I love you. Lastly, thank you to my teammates, Coach Moore and Coach Jordan, for making my last volleyball season a great one to end on. You all hold a special place in my heart. From Rock, Texas, she has career high of 39 aces and 154 digs. She enters the game to serve for one of the middles and plays defense for a rotation. Becca has been a positive, upbeat player, giving her all for her entire career. She brings joy and a spark to the team and has been a joy to coach. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Becca Dahl. Our next senior is Alyssa Kirk. Alyssa Kirk is being escorted by her father and mother, Nathan and Anna Kirk. Alyssa would first like to thank the Lord for all of his blessings and mercies. He is the one that deserves all the glory and honor and is worthy. May we never forget the game of volleyball is just a tool we use to exalt him. It has been a wonderful 4 years playing at SAGU. To my teammates, thank you for the friends you have been to me over the years and the fun that we have had together. I will remember the experiences we have had for years to come. To my coaches, thank you for believing in me and making this journey a great one. I am thankful for the chance Coach Moore gave me as a freshman to be able to grow within the Southwestern volleyball family. Thank you also to Coach Joe and Amanda this year for making it so much fun and being patient while I learned. I would not have wanted to spend so much time on any other program. It has really been a blessing. Thank you also to Taylor and the whole Calvary family. Taylor, you are my first friend here, and I enjoyed the time with you on and off the court. Thank you to the Calvary family for opening up your home and treating me as your daughter. It has meant so much. Grandma and Grandpa, thank you for supporting me and watching my games. It means so much to me. To my parents, I cannot express enough how much you mean to me. Thank you for encouraging, coaching, loving, supporting, and sacrificing for me to be here. Only you know how deep of a dream this was for me to play college volleyball, and you have guided me each step of the way. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being my biggest fans and for all the hours you have put into my volleyball career, and most importantly, the time you have put into me. Dad, thank you for the talks on the way home from games in high school, and Mom, thank you for encouraging me during the ups and downs of volleyball. Thank you for taking the time to come down here and watch me play one last time. Thank you to Kayla, Sarah, and Jenna, my sisters, who are incredibly valuable to me and who have supported me my whole life. You guys are irreplaceable. Thank you, Sarah, for singing the national anthem at many games. Listening to you sing has brought a little bit of home to Waxahachie, Texas. I would also like to thank Joshua for his continual encouragement and pushing me to live more like Christ every day. I am forever grateful, and I love you. Thank you also to Southwestern for giving me a place to play for God's glory. The Ohio native has enjoyed a distinguished career as defensive specialist. Alyssa has played in a total of 315 games, accumulating a total of 592 digs and 18 aces. She has a total average of 1.88 digs per set. Besides delivering some memorable digs to keep her team in play, Alyssa is a very strong passer and a great communicator on the court. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Alyssa Kirk. Our next senior is Taylor Calverley. Taylor Calverley is being escorted by Ted and Terry Calverley. She says, when I think back to before I came to SAGU, it is obvious that God was leading me to Southwestern. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to play 4 years of volleyball and to attend a distinctively Christian university. The Lord has completely transformed my life since coming to SAGU. And for that, I will always be grateful to my professors, the administration, Coach Moore, and the friends I've met while here. Thank you, Coach Moore, for believing in me and encouraging me to be the best player I can be, but most importantly, the person God has called me to be. Mom and Dad, thank you for being my biggest fans and for going to countless volleyball games to cheer me on. I love you guys. To my grandpa and my aunt who watch every game online without fail, thank y'all for being so supportive and encouraging. It means more to me, you guys, know to have y'all watch every game. I love both of you very much. Daniel, thank you for coming to every game that you can, and for being my best friend for the last 4 years, with many more to come. I love you so much. To Jordan and Amanda, I am so blessed to call you guys my coaches, but more than that, I am blessed to call you my friends. To my favorite redhead, Alyssa Kirk, thank you for being my roommate, my world travel partner, and my best friend for 4 years. It is a compliment when countless people ask if we are sisters. I love you, friend, and to my team, you are all so special to me, and I never thought it was possible to have such amazing teammates. I love each of you very much. Taylor began her career at SAGU by earning the starting center position and has earned the position all 4 seasons. She has been voted a tri-captain by her teammates for 3 seasons in a row and has grown into a great leader. She was an NAIA, NCCAA, and ABCA Academic All-American 2012 and 13. Taylor from nearby Mansfield has a total of 665 assists and has become the leading assist leader in SAGU history. She has averaged a total of 9.56 assists per set and as accumulators, she has 1,066 career digs, averaging 2.18 per game. This year, she ranks nationally and is the number 2 in the Sooner Athletic Conference in assists. Taylor has accumulated 108 career aces. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Taylor Calverley. Our next senior is Brittany Briggs. Brittany Briggs is being escorted by her parents, Robert and Paula Briggs. She says, I would like to thank my parents, sister, and brother-in-law for their support and love as a young woman, pursuing her dreams of playing college volleyball and seeking after the Lord in my academics and so on. Thank you for being such wonderful role models and for pushing me to do my best. To Coach Moore and all the wonderful girls I've had the privilege to play with, especially my senior year. Y'all have made this journey in my life worth the while and fun. Each one of you is a blessing to my life, and I couldn't be more thankful for the team, friends, and family God has placed in my life since I joined this team 3 years ago. You have all made my senior year one to be proud of, and one I definitely will never forget. Thanks, Coachy, for being so encouraging and pushing me in my walk with Jesus since the moment I played for you years ago. You treat me like I'm your own, and you will always have a special place in my heart. And the most important thank you of all goes to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of SAGU and for giving me the ability to play at this level with such an amazing group of girls. I love you all very much. Brittany has played in a total of 340 games and has become a crucial part of the Lady Lions' back row defense. Brittany has accumulated a total of 794 digs and 66 career aces. She's averaging 2.34 digs per set and is ranked number 12 in the Sooner Athletic Conference in digs per set. Brittany also has 41 assists and 32 kills. She has become a vocal leader on the court and a spiritual leader off the court. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Brittany Briggs. Our next senior is Cassie Cox. Cassie Cox is being escorted by aunts Sandra Wilson and Cheryl Edwards. She says, first I would like to thank all the faithful fans who have been such a great support to the volleyball team and created a fun and thrilling atmosphere to play in over the years. I would also like to thank all of my friends who have been at every volleyball game they can make it to and have been continually uplifting and encouraging, especially Hannah and Zena, who have probably sat through more of the sporting events than they could count. Next, I would like to thank Coach Moore for not only pushing me to be a better volleyball player, but also encouraging and guiding me spiritually as well as academically. You have provided an atmosphere where we not only play the game we love, but are a part of a family. I would like to thank my amazing teammates for being such great friends and making my volleyball career a memorable experience, especially Jessica. I wouldn't have made it without you. Also, a shout out to my senior teammates. I'm so glad I've gotten to spend the last 4 years with you awesome ladies. I love you so much. I especially want to thank my family who have been to every game or performance they could make it to throughout my entire life. I could not have asked for a better family who love the Lord with all their hearts and who have been more of a love and support than I could have ever asked for. I am so thankful for all of you and everything that you've done for me and supported me in over the years. I would like to thank Hannah for being a great best friend and roommate over the years. God had a plan in mind when we matched up sophomore year. Also, I'd like to thank Dylan for his love, encouragement, and support this last year, and for believing in me and pushing me to be the best I can be. I love you. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents. I would not be the person I am today without the two of you. You have gone above and beyond to make it possible for me to do anything that I have ever desired to do. Whatever sport I wanted to play or anything I wanted to do, you made sure that it happened and pushed me to be my best. There's no telling how many miles y'all have traveled and money you've spent to see me play. You've probably watched at least 1,000 games by now, and I won't think about the dollar count. I can't thank you enough for believing in me. Dad, you have always been my go-to coach no matter what sport I play. You taught me the aggression and passion I play with and implanted the hustle and desire to never give up. I always remember the day y'all dropped me off at two-a-days. I was so nervous and you told me just hit the ball as hard as you can and put it through the floor. and that's all he'll need to see. Mom, you have been the best mother anyone could ask for. I couldn't ask for a better example of a godly woman who sacrifices so much for others, especially her family. I love you guys so much, and of course, thanks to God who graciously has given me the ability and opened doors for me to have such a fun volleyball career. Thank you. Cassie enters SAGU as a freshman middle blocker and has played a total of 458 games. She has accumulated a total of 1,245 kills, placing her at the 4th spot in total kills in SAGU history. And she has earned 332 total blocks, putting her as the 2nd all-time block leader. Cassie has been voted a tri-captain for the last 2 years by her teammates and has been a leader on the court as well as off the court. She was a NAIA, NCCAA, and ABCA Academic All-American in 2012 and 13. Cassie is averaging 1 block set and 3.3 kills per set, placing her at number 2 in block set and number 3 in kills per set in the Sooner Athletic Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Cassie Cox. Our final senior is Amanda Laney. Amanda Laney is escorted today by her mother and father, Patty and Skip Laney. She says having the opportunity to play and coach volleyball at SAGU has been such a blessing, and I wouldn't want to change a single thing about these past years. Sometimes God has plans that we know nothing about, and they end up being so much greater than anything we could ever imagine. Being involved in this program has taught me to trust the Lord and give Him control. I am so glad that His plans prevailed over my own. All the glory goes to God. As for the thank yous, I would like to thank my mom and dad as well as my sister and brother-in-law who couldn't be here today. You guys mean so much to me, there is no way I wouldn't be here without your great sacrifice, support, and encouragement. Thank you for always believing in me. Y'all have made this journey incredible and unforgettable. I also want to thank the Briggs family for becoming my home away from home. It has meant so much to me, and I am so grateful that I am able to be a part of your lives. And thank you, Lady Lions, for being such amazing teammates and friends. Y'all have blessed my life in so many ways and have made every season of volleyball and life so memorable. And last but not least, thank you, Coach Moore and Coach Jordan. I'm very privileged to have the opportunity to be coached by and with such wonderful people who truly love the Lord and desire the very best for this team. Both of you have touched my life greatly. Thank you, and I love you all. Amanda came to SAGU in 2009, earning the position as a right side hitter. In her career, Amanda accumulated a total of 316 kills and 121 blocks in a total of 2 seasons. After sustaining an ACL injury recovery, Amanda decided to make a change and become a part of the coaching staff her senior season. She has done a great job as a student assistant, providing insight, and has a great connection with the players. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Amanda Laney. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2013 Lady Lion Seniors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing a special person today, Buddy Briggs.
Thank you all for listening. I know this has been kind of long, but we just want 2 more things. We want to thank Coach Moore, all the senior parents. It's been a great year. It's been a peaceful year. We want to thank you for pouring the love of God into our children, for pointing them to Jesus Christ more than anything else. This volleyball ain't going to last long, but what you poured into them, it's going to last a lifetime. And we just want to tell you we love you and thank you so much. We all pitched in and got you a little token of our appreciation. And Jordan, the senior, all the players, they all also wanted to express their gratitude and thanks to you and for everything you've done. And they got you a token of their appreciation also. So anyway, we just wanted to acknowledge them. Thank everybody.
And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Southwestern Assembly of God University for this evening's game, featuring the stars of Oklahoma City University and your SAGU Lady Lions. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor God in prayer. Then remain standing and face the flag as we honor our nation with the singing of our national anthem by SAGU Lady Lion volleyball player Hannah Lewis in honor of senior night. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for another day. Lord, we thank you for a special day for us, God, as we honor our seniors. We thank you for everything you've done in their lives, important to their lives, and how they can glorify and testify to you. Father, we pray for this game, that is a special game. We pray for all the players, both teams, God, for your protection over them. And God, we pray that we honor you. We thank you for your sacrifice and your love. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous sky, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Southwestern SAGU University welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to tonight's contest. As a member of the NAIA and the SAGU Athletic Conference, we are committed to the true spirit of competition by being a champion of character. To the 5 core character values the NAIA embraces, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask each of you as a participant, official, or spectator to abide by these values by creating a positive environment in which our athletes may participate. Our officials may work, and you, the spectator, may enjoy. Please enjoy this contest. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the starting lineups for the Stars. At setter, number 1, Hannah Mitchell. At middle blocker, number 5, Tori Flynn. Outside hitter, number 8, Rachel Flavor. Defensive specialist, number 9, Danielle Robinson. Outside hitter, number 11, Megan Irwin. Outside hitter, number 15, Tristan Macy. And at libero, number 3, Tori Thomas. Head coach is Nikki Fabal. And now, the starting lineups for your Southwestern Lady Lions. And outside hitter, junior from Arlington, Texas, number 5, Jessica Sonich. At middle hitter, freshman from Lake Livingston, Texas, number 8, Mackenzie Criddle. At setter, senior from Mansfield, Texas, number 9, Taylor Calverley. At defensive specialist, senior from Maypearl, Texas, number 10, Brittany Briggs. At middle hitter, senior from Lumpkin, Texas, number 11, Cassie Cox. At middle hitter, freshman from Midlothian, Texas, number 14, Faye Harnett. And at libero, sophomore from Red Oak, Texas, number 2, Emily Smith. Head coach is Hank Moore, assistant coaches are Jordan Sutherland and Amanda Laney. Teachers for tonight's game are Michael Giardo and George Washington.
And there you have it. What a special night here at the Schaefer Center. It only happens once a year, Devin. The volleyball seniors honored 6 special people. One of them an assistant coach, the other 5 players for Coach Moore. And now it's time to do nothing left but put the ball up in the air.
It's interesting to see now that we've had all this time to wait and really honor these players, which is so important. While OKC's watching this happen, it's going to be interesting to see how both teams come back, get their heads in the game, and really pick up play from this very first serve.
Yeah, you saw both teams kind of keeping their bodies loose and warm as the wait's well worth the wait. These are special young ladies, and we're glad to give them that time on the stage, and glad to see family and friends here and parents, and of course they honored Coach Hank Moore as well. So let's see if this is a little extra motivation tonight for the seniors to play one of their best matches of the season, as we're about to get underway here at the Schaefer Center in pretty important match here in this Sooner. We mentioned in pregame, Devin, OKC 7-5, a half a game ahead of the Lions, who are 7-6. All 4 teams, these 2 plus Texas Wesley and John Brown, literally jockeying for position between 3rd and 6th place. And the libero for the Stars will kick things off. Tori Thomas, a freshman from Norman, Oklahoma. And we are underway here at the Schaefer Center. And that serve goes straight to the Lions libero, Smith, who didn't get a good position to pull that ball out of the ground. It's a 1-0 Stars. They'll go to Emily again. Cox to Harden. An off-speed handled on the front line. But a whistle.
What we noticed there is Faith Harden went up for that play. She was kind of off balance and unable to get a real good position on the ball. But as a really seasoned player, she was able to do all of that movement with her wrist, which got that cut shot right there down to the left front position for OKC. And that off-speed play, OKC's defense, was unable to get there. Their weight was back on their heels, and that off-speed cut was quick to the floor.
Back to live action. Nice dig from Sodich. Nice roll. And the point for the Lions. Wow, what a play right there.
And as mentioned in pregame, Rob, we've got Cassie Cox and Taylor Calverley, number 11 and number 9 for the Lady Lions. That duo that they have, not only in offense, but as we just saw in defense, it's going to be really hard to replace.
Back row attack, nothing but the middle of the net. Lions will pick up another point, now leading 4-1. Alyssa Kirk, one of the seniors honored earlier tonight, puts the ball into play. Back set slide. Smith able to send it back over, and an attempt from Kirk, unable to dig it out of the floor. Lions Stars cut the lead to 2. Jump serve over to Briggs. Calverley. An unusual back row attack from the libero.
You saw our team kind of all out of sorts trying to get that ball back in play. And when you're hitting from the back row, it's important to see who's on your front line on the other side. If you've got a double block like that, you've got to hit a roll shot high and over the block in order to get it down. But that's okay. We come back with that. Sodich from that outside spot, which she's so strong with that cross-court kill.
And really a bump set to Sodich as well. Wasn't really a typical traditional set from Calverley. Able to bump it cleanly over to Sodich. And rejected right in the front middle. That's Criddle. Crams it back down the Stars' throats. Extends the lead to 6-3. The senior Becca Dahl, number 1, serves it up. Could be a free ball situation. Kirk will do just that. Middle attack handled by the front line defense of the Lions. Now a back row attack. A kick, and that, folks, nearly landed. A kick is legal in volleyball.
Right, and that rule actually just recently changed. Now in sand volleyball, it's always been a rule that you can play the ball up with your foot, but that recently became allowed in indoor. And we see in plays like that it comes in handy.
That's about all she could do, as the ball that came off the first bounce was landing near the defender's feet, and that one's going to bounce out of bounds. Tip off the Lions' fingertips, cuts the lead to 1. Look for number 9 and number 15 if you're watching the Stars tonight. Those are the top 2 players for third-year coach Nikki Dyball. Number 9's Daniel Robinson. 15, Kristen Macy. Sodich, deep row, and the Stars still keep it alive. It'll be a huge free ball, and they do keep it alive. Criddle, though, sends it home, and the Stars pulled that one out, but Lady Lions right there to finish it off.
Now, Rob, that saying that we say, play until the whistle blows, we see that just then, that the Stars are running all over the court trying to get that ball up. It seemed like the play was over as soon as the ball came over, but they really did fight until the very end.
Tip off the Lions' front line. Give the Stars another point. They're right there, 7-6. It's tight early. No team making a big push. Lions did lead 4-1. Now 7-6. Kirk gets up back off her feet and able to send it back over. Back set slide. Block will go out of bounds. We're tied. Oklahoma City has 3 seniors on their roster. Anna Gentry, Tori Flynn, and Robinson, number 9. Sodich may get another crack at it. She will. Good running jump there. And that ball went on the SAGU side behind the net. Stars able to bring it back to the middle of the court, but then their third attempt fell short of the net.
No, a rule on the play like that, you rarely see that happen where you have a second contact going on the other side of the net. But the rule is, as long as you don't step in bounds and mess up with that antenna that's judging the line, then you can really play anything, and the hustle there is magnificent.
And credit Criddle with that one. Maybe Faith Hardy got a piece of it with the combo block up front. Here it is again. Couldn't tell if that was Harden or Criddle, but they were both right there.
They're both important there. One, Harden sets the block, so that shows Criddle where she needs to go. So really, every time 2 blockers are up, it's a combo.
And the Lions tack on another one quickly. Sodich, a very reliable server. You know, the moment you say that, she serves one out of bounds. I should have just kept quiet. Yeah, it cuts the lead back to 2. Cox on the bench waiting for her rotation to come back in the game. Sodich to Calverley. And how about that? Calverley sets the ball back to Sodich, who hits a backcourt kill shot.
You see on that replay right there that the throwing off of the defense. OKC was ready for Calverley to set anywhere on the front row, and that's why she throws it to the back row to throw everybody off. And it worked just like that. The block was set incorrectly. So Sodich was able to hit off the block and get that kill on that play.
And a net violation on the point following. Harden with the tip. Gave the Stars enough trouble. That one's going to sail wide. That was Rachel Gable, a sophomore, one of 7 sophomores, Devin. This team is loaded with young players. 2 freshmen and 7 sophomores will return next year for Coach Dieball for these Stars. And that ball is going to land about 2 feet in. Good deep ball, good court awareness. Past Smith, 13-9. Cox is back in the game. J.J. Abbott getting some time on the back row. So you were talking to me before the match, and someone special's watching this telecast on SAGU.TV from around the world. Tell us about that, Devin.
Yeah, we'd like to give a shout out to Tim and Marquita Sutherland, watching all the way from Wales. It's currently about 1:30 a.m. for them, and they're dedicated to watching this game because their son James is married to no unfamiliar face, the assistant coach Jordan Sutherland, who's sisters with number 10 Brittany Briggs. So they've got a lot of reason to watch this game. So a shout out to them. Thank you guys for checking out the SAGU Sports Network tonight.
And coffee's definitely brewing in Wales as they're up past the midnight hour. Thanks for watching around the world here on the SAGU Sports Network. 14-11. Stars right here. Back set slide attempt. Block goes out of bounds. Cox able to go down the line, and that shift over from the combo block a little bit late here.
And when you've got Cox there running that slide play, it's her really looking to see if she can hit past that block. She knows that they're steady there blocking the line. So her 2 options are really to go cross court really sharp or hit like she just did and tool off the block. So that ability to do that showed just right there on getting a point off of the block is still a kill in the books.
Briggs sends that back row kill attempt well beyond the court. Will be side out OKC. This is definitely not the same caliber of team that we saw last week, Devin, when Oklahoma Baptist rolled into town. But OKC, nevertheless, has shown they can beat the Lions. They beat us 7 of 8 matches, but right now, Lions hanging right in there. 2-point lead here in set number 1. Looking good so far.
And like we mentioned in pregame, Rob, there really wasn't a big difference last time we played the Stars. It was a 5-point difference in those sets. You know, that shows that it's really going to be close every single set, 1- and 2-point differences. And we've seen in this first set that it's a fight, 1 point at a time. The teams are constantly evening out the lead and the deficit, and it's really been even on both sides of the net.
Now, should SAGU face this team again in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament, the Stars, Devin, will likely have a home court advantage, even though they won't be at home. Now, why is that? Because the regular season champion hosts the tournament, and well, right now it's going to be Oklahoma Baptist, and they're located in Shawnee, Oklahoma, about 40 miles east of the Oklahoma City campus, and so you can bet their fans will take the quick trip and pack the stands for that tournament. So if we do face this team again, the crowd will definitely be in OKC's favor. And now the Stars have cut the lead back to 1. Nice running jump from left to right with the kill shot right in the middle of the court. A free ball from Kirk. That may have gone out of bounds, but the back row elected to keep the ball live. Rejected up front by Criddle and Calverley. Calverley now back set to the back row. Briggs keeps it alive. Here come the Stars. Tipped up front. Kirk slide or set over to Sodich. Sends it home. Nice sequence of events from defense to offense, and the Lions quickly turned things around at that point.
We saw a lot of players there, Rob, on the Lions side of the net, really playing all sorts of different positions. We saw Briggs hit that back row attack, which is very rare for us. And then we just saw everyone really stepping in and playing together as a team. And we were able to finish that point because of it.
Calverley unable to get behind that one. Smith gave it chase, 17-16. Over the last 8 matches between these two clubs, Devin, the Stars actually have a rather large set advantage, a 21-5 set advantage over the 8 matches between these two ball clubs. That one finds the line.
You see in this replay, Abbott really saw that block. We had number 12 for OKC set that block to block cross court. Abbott saw that when she's in midair, took it down the line, and was able to get that kill.
Back set, and good defense up front. They're going to call a net violation. Criddle and Harden both had the net penetration, but the Stars called for a net violation. Give the Lions a 3-point lead here in set number 1, and here come the Stars from the left side, and this time Rachel Gable hits pay dirt.
It's going to be important there, Rob, with that hitter. You see she goes almost to the line. In this replay right here, you've got her swing. It's incomplete in that replay. You can't really see, but it goes really close to that outside line for the Lady Lions. So our defense is going to have to make sure that we don't get sucked in, because we're going to have to play really, really close to that.
And a timeout. No, I take that back. I thought it was going to be a timeout. Hank Moore approached the sideline. It looked to be a timeout. He usually stands right next to the line, so I do stand corrected. We're going to play on here. In fact, there's been no timeouts at all in this first set. We're at 20-17. Is that unusual for a set to go this deep without any coach calling a timeout?
Well, when you've got a set like this that's really just 1 or 2 point deficit the whole time, a constant climb, there's really no need to call a timeout. No team is really losing focus or struggling that badly. So it's really just constant battle. And we see in plays like that each team is really following through and getting those plays in to get the points like they are.
Sodich gave that one chase, but Kirk loses the battle up front of the net. And the Stars are right there, just hanging around. The biggest lead's been about 3, now down to 1. Sodich to Calverley to Harden. Stars keep it alive. We mentioned her in pregame, Kristen Macy, the freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma, sends that one out of bounds, gives the Lions a 2-point lead. That serve may have gone deep, but again, the Stars played it. Smith over to Harden. Cox tried to send that one packing, and that one goes near the scorer's table. Harden bumped into the ref, trying to chase it down. 21-20. So you still don't see calling a timeout for any kind of a strategic change or a final thoughts or warning from either coach? Just play on at this point?
I think a timeout, at least for the Lions, will come if OKC gets to 22. The 22, 23-point range is typically when a coach will call a timeout if a game is this close. But
Smith with a great save, and then she gets the third touch as well. The Lions, though, come up short of that play. Good hustle from Smith.
And you'll see right here, Coach Moore watching really closely on the court. And now team 21-21, it's really up to either team who has the momentum and who's going to call a timeout to try and ice that.
Back set slide.
That's a net violation right there on number 15 for OKC. Mistakes like that are crucial to not be made in this point in the set. When the scores are this close and we're almost there to the end of the set, 25th point.
And the senior back in for the freshman, Alyssa Kirk, steps in for Faith Harden on the service. 22-21, some big points here. Devin, you say it every time in this match, it's time for mistake-free or error-free volleyball. And there's no mistake on that one as Sodich fires a kill shot cross court. I checked it, cross court down the line. The ricochet went cross court. And we are now in our first timeout. I'm not sure which coach called it, but we have a timeout. It was the Stars coach. It was Nikki Dyball at that 22 to 23 point mark. So it was the Stars will want to talk it over. What do you think is transpiring in the Lions huddle right now?
Well, I think what's important here for the Lady Lions to realize is that it's still either team's game. And just because we're at 23 doesn't mean that we've got the game won. And we have to make sure that we stay focused. The reason OKC called this timeout was to ice our server, which was a great play on their part. But if our server goes in and misses this serve, then OKC will get exactly what they wanted, which is the momentum shift. So this timeout for the Lady Lions is directed strictly towards focusing your mind. Mentally is the most important part of the game right now.
If they do get the point, they will pull to within one with the ball in their hands with a chance to tie. So this is really the point of the match at this point, I think. 23-21, big swing point right here. And miscommunication, and the Lions will take a free one. That was Rachel Gable, and it looked like it may have been, it was Macy. Both looked at each other. The old, I thought you had it, I'll take it. No one has it. And now, Lions with their largest lead at the most critical time of the set. Sodich's block tipped out of bounds. That'll give the Stars the ball back. And they've got to rattle off 2 in a row to get back to 24 and a second timeout called by Nikki Dyball again. So, it looks like the first match that they played recently that went 5 sets. You mentioned in pregame, 102 points to 97, I think is what you said. Just 5 points separated over 4 sets, so each was about 2 or 3 points, and here we are again, these two teams evenly matched. Oh, I take it back. The Lions were that last point.
There seems to have been a miscommunication on the scoreboard and the referees. We saw Coach Moore on that timeout go up to the table and approach the conflict. So there must have been a mishap somewhere in there.
Yeah, our score in the gym looked like it was 24-22, so we do apologize, but I guess there was some confusion at the scores table. They have awarded that final point to the Lions, so they'll take the first set 25-22. 21. 25-21.
Smith, Mia Charles, and Juliana Polo-Gruto. They're coached by Laura Rentero. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lady Lions.
Lions didn't play mistake-free volleyball, but they made less mistakes than the Stars and were able to have some great defensive digs, a couple of nice kill shots up front. We still didn't see that demonstrative kill shot from Cox that gets the crowd on their feet, but we saw overall some good team volleyball.
And it may take Cox just one game to get warmed up, especially after that senior recognition. Each player kind of had to take a little bit more time to get warmed up, and I think we'll see some of that in this second set. We'll see a little bit higher caliber, probably a faster play on the front row, just because now everybody's been in the swing of the game for one set. And that was a really close set too, so it'll either be one team that'll take all the momentum, be warmed up, and completely pull away, or this will be a close fight each single point, which history has shown that that'll probably be the case.
Well, let's take you down now courtside, where we have our very own Tyler Marie Evans standing by. Tyler?
Thanks, guys. Here I am with cheerleader of the game, Brittany Johannaben. Brittany, as a cheerleader, you put so much time and energy into cheerleading. Tell me, what's the best part?
Honestly, the best part that I like about it is just the performance-wise. After we put in just all the time work, all the hours of the night, it's just you get sore, bruised up, and so my favorite part is probably just the final performance, hearing the crowd just cheer for us and just knowing that satisfactory that we did like all that we could do. And it was good.
Thank you so much, Brittany, and enjoy the rest of the game. Back to you, Rob.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you.
So the Lions will take set 1 here at the Schaefer Center. A win here would drop the Stars. A win by the Lions would drop the Stars to 7-6, bump the Lions to 8-6. So statistically speaking, they would leapfrog, I'll get it right, over the Stars. However, they would remain equal in the loss column with 6 losses. I was talking to Coach Moore about the tiebreaker a few days ago when he explained to me that the first tiebreaker would be head-to-head. So if these two teams split, say they both finish in a tie for third, these two teams split. If the Lions win, then they actually don't go, which I thought was the case, to total sets won or points won. They go to the overall record of the highest ranked team you played. What was the score of the highest ranked team you played and that you beat? So we'd have to look up and see what was the highest ranked team the Lions and Stars beat to determine the tiebreaker, but in an unusual way. Nice point there up front for the Lions.
You see that dump there by Calverley. When she's on the front row, she really does have that great advantage to throw off the defense for the other team. And doing that, and she did just then, a really athletic play. She reached up and pushed the ball right behind her, which is really hard to do. She was able to see that spot in the front left side of the court.
Sodich digs it out of the net. We'll get a second shot at it, but she's going to hit the net on that kill attempt, but nice network to keep the ball alive. I like how she was into the net, saved it, and just reloaded, stepped back quickly behind the 10-foot line to reload.
When you cover a block like that, she tipped the ball on that first contact, covered the block up, and then you have to be able to shift back really quickly. Volleyball is so fast-paced, so you have to make sure you're always able to reload, like you said.
And looks like a net violation. It may have been called against Calverley. Or a lift.
Net violation.
It was a net violation. He's 3-1, Stars up early. Briggs to Calverley, the slide over to Cox, and there it is, the first big kill shot of the day from Cox, the senior. The crowd wakes up with that point. Cox will take a seat with a high five from her coach, Hank Moore. Dollar with the deep serve over to Macy. Briggs right there. It'll be a back row attack from Kirk. And a push over. And that's going to find the back right corner, a little off-speed action from Criddle.
And we see there that the Lady Lions are really showing a lot of skill in this set. They're being able to hit hard shots cross court like Cox just did, and then off speed with Criddle, really throwing off OKC's defense and getting points in where we need them.
Briggs, nice how she stayed low right in front of that ball. Let's talk about Briggs pulling that one out. You talk about it all the time. Square your shoulders, low center of gravity. Briggs was right there. It's like she knew where the ball was coming.
And it's important as a defensive player to always be low, like you mentioned. And Briggs has shown these past two plays excellent defense. And if you'll notice, both times that she had incredible digs like that, her body was low. She was waiting for the ball. It's really important to be sitting in position waiting, because you never know how fast the ball's going to come. Briggs is right where she needed to be, right when she needed to be there, and she was able to keep the ball in play.
Great senior leadership and play from Brittany. And that ball looked like it was going to go out of bounds from our angle up here in the booth. Calverley elected to try to punch it back into play. Instead, it ricocheted off her right hand. But those are hard to judge at that angle if that ball was going to be in bounds or not.
Especially when you've got your body movement already going one direction. Calverley was coming in to get set up for defense coming from the right side for OKC. And so she wasn't really in the position to judge as well as she normally would be with her foot on the line if that ball was going out of bounds.
And the tip handled by the Lions, and the free ball push. Calverley unable to get low enough on that one from the back row. It's 6-4 in favor of OKC. Again, this is only the 6th set that they've ever dropped to the Lions. Nice kill shot there on the front row. Nice elevation. And Sodich, the junior. I think really that Sodich has the opportunity, if she finishes this year strong and stays healthy, this may be a stretch, but I'll go on a limb and say it. I think that Sodich has the ability to be at least an all-conference player next year, and maybe even an All-American.
And we knew that when she came in as a freshman, just the way that she played that very first season, she was really able to be consistent from the front row and just always being able to wind up and put the ball away. And that's why she's such an asset to our team, being able to do that so consistently. And I think you're absolutely right. I think if she stays healthy and continues to train her body in this next offseason, she really has a good shot.
She will be the main centerpiece for next year's offense, complemented by what we hope to be Criddle and Harden, but it'll be Sodich's team next year for sure. Taylor almost dug that one out. That ball just over the front line, and Calverley came from the far backside in a hurry, almost dug it out, but Stars will stay on top, 7-6. Quick set, a back set, and it's J.J. Abbott from Washington with the kill shot. Cox will come back in. Criddle will take a seat, as will Dollar. Smith will serve from the left side. We're 7-all, knotted. And a free ball from Sodich. Winding and firing is Megan Irwin. And that was going to sail wide, was not touched by the Lions. Side out SAGU.
That play, you really saw number 14 for the Lady Lions, Faith Harden. Great hustle on that ball, getting up to Sodich to send a free ball over the net. You saw her running outside of the court boundaries, going for that ball, and then you see her on the front row in that left front position, being an asset right there in that play for the blocks, and then also getting those offensive plays, throwing off the defense.
Cox tries to send that one home. Smith has to chase it down. Cox changes gears, just sends an easy one over, and that one had too much velocity and too much elevation, and credit Rachel Gable for finding the hole across court.
And you saw there the block was set up. There were two blockers there. They were in position, and they were blocking the line, but that OKC just really took it the opposite direction. Really sharp cross-court shot, and our defense wasn't ready.
Rachel Gable is just a sophomore from Richardson, Texas. She's looking good right now as a player for Coach Nikki Dyball. Combo block from Abbott and Cox. Not sure who dug that out. Smith able to set it over to Abbott or to Harden. Play on. Stars, and a single rejection block from Abbott. Wow, she took it herself.
You saw there she was jumping on the play right before that. You never know when you're going to make contact with the ball. So as a middle blocker, you've got to make sure that you're always up, penetrating the net, jumping with all you've got every single play. And it pays off in that play you see right there. Abbott was able to get a single block, which is great for the team, great for this set, and great for her single stats.
We know Mom and Dad are watching proud from Washington. The Abbotts. Carrie Abbott's been a guest speaker here at Southwestern on several occasions, and they're from the Northwest, and she heard about our school here in Waxahachie, and her daughter fell in love with the school and decided to come play volleyball here. So we know they're watching. They're watching in the Wales. They're watching in Washington. They're watching all over the place, Devin. That's an outstanding block. Was that Cox or Calverley?
It's a double block right there set up by both of them, and that duo just always getting the blocks right where they need to be, always being straight in technique and lining up perfectly with the ball and being able to really offset OKC in this match.
The Lions take the lead, 10-9. Macy, Smith could be right near the net. A battle. Calverley wins the battle, keeps the ball alive. Back set slide. And what happened there? Cox almost let it go, then decided to kind of dig it out over the top of the back of her head.
What they tell front row players in a situation like that is to never throw your arms up, because you need to be able to trust that your back row is going to be there to get the ball up. So all that is just a last minute kind of frantic decision to throw your arms up, which really rarely gets the play that you need out of it. It really shanks off most oftentimes. So that's just a quick simple mistake, not a huge deal, but just a last-minute mental decision.
Boy, there was anger in that shot from Sodic, and again, even more anger and power and authority. Jessica Sodic says, "Watch me work." Wow. Sodic showing why she will assume the leadership of this team next year. Gives the Lions a 1-point lead again, 11-10. And just like that, unfortunately, the Lions give a free one right back to the Stars. $11 apiece. It was 7-all earlier, now 11-all. And this time, it's Criddle. You could hear that through the glass in our booth up here. Wow. Smacked it home.
Like I mentioned in between set 1 and 2, I think set 1 really was a warm-up game for both teams, and we're seeing that here, especially for the Lady Lions. Not so much for OKC, but the Lady Lions front line is really playing amazing offense in this set, really lining up their shoulders, pulling their elbows back, doing everything right, and it's coming through for them as they pull ahead 13-11.
Rachel Gable tried to send it cross court, and Sodic off the tip and the kill. 14-11, right down the line. Not enough time for the back row to react on that one, Devin. And the tip. Here's Sodic again. She's been on fire. Misfired on that one. Cut the lead back to 2. Lions won the first set 25-21 in a tight match the whole way. Short set to Criddle. Ball nearly hits the rafters. And a punch over in the short set now. Sodic to the back row, and Maggie Vickers unable to center her body to put it back into play. Lions will get that point, 15-12. And a double block attempt from Harden, and Criddle falls on the ground. Will give the Stars the ball and the point. Really impressed with Sodic's play so far. Maybe dedicating today's match to her senior buddies here. There's a punch from Harden. Stars almost mishandled that one. Abbott with the push. (15-14). Stars hanging around. At this rate, it's going to be another one of those matches, Devin, where the final point total is going to be about 4 or 5 points, as it was the first time these two schools met.
And we haven't seen a timeout in this set yet either, Rob. And both teams, like I said, again, fighting point for point. There's no reason to call a timeout when both teams are fighting as hard as they are.
Oh, almost miscommunication there, and that did cause Calverley to send that pass over about 3 feet out of bounds. And that was Kristen Macy trying to dig it out of the ground and rolled over. Here it is again. As the deflection off the front row caused her to react just a moment late.
And we've seen a couple times from OKC's defense that the ball maybe not even coming over hard from Lady Lions offense, but their defense for some reason just isn't getting into the swing. And there was a play a couple points ago where they had one player in the middle of the court just all by herself and unable to to square away and get the ball in play. And those are just simple, really technique mistakes that we've seen a lot in this set.
Abbott. Nice velocity on that kill attempt. The Stars keep it alive. Now a back row attack from Soda. She's been on fire. Short set handled by Abbott. Back set slide to Cox. I think it was tipped. They are going to call a tip. Credit Cox with the point. The Lions back up by 1. I want you to take a look at number 11 for the Stars. The next time she gets a kill shot, Devin, I want you to describe for us, if you can, her form. I've not really seen, there she is again, right there. It looks like it kind of slings her arm. It's effective, but it's unorthodox. As you see that, as we talk about Megan, she sends one packing with the block of the front line. But talk about that swinging motion, like it's a delayed attack of her rotation of her shoulders moving over.
Each player, when they start playing, and it's just like this in any other sport, you learn the fundamentals. You learn really, how to start playing. But as you play longer and longer and learn your body and learn more about how you want to play the game, then you really take on your own approach to whatever position you play. And in this case, number 11 for OKC may have just found a way that she really winds up better to hit the ball. But to another player, it may be a way that could easily injure your shoulder. It just depends on your body, what you're comfortable with, and how you found to really, you get in your best swing of hitting the ball.
A lot like a pitcher's motion. There's no one pitcher that pitches the exact same way. And but whatever works as a timeout on the court, and it's 19-17. Just a 2-point margin. The Lions looking to go up 2-0. They need to come away with 6 more points. The Stars want to talk it over. They do not want to go down 2 sets here on the home floor of the Lions.
And what you see here, the Lions are taking this opportunity to really take a deep breath. They only have a 2-point lead, but they're getting into that point in the game where every point weighs a lot more heavily than it would in the beginning of a set. And we've seen all of these plays really by the Lions really coming out and playing as hard as they can, having that momentum, having the energy. I've seen so much more energy in this set than I did in the first set from both teams, but especially the Lady Lions really getting excited about each play, which is important because you can really create a momentum even if it isn't there in the way you're playing. And for the Lady Lions right now, the momentum is there in their cheering and in the way that they're playing the ball.
We've yet to have one of those 25-point or 25-hit rallies, I should say, but one feels like it's coming soon because these teams are really evenly matched. The points moderately in length. Oh, that's an interesting exchange of events there. Not a whole lot of long points, but just to finish the thought, but you kind of sense one brewing because both these clubs are both so evenly matched. 19-18. Stars trail just by 1. It'll be Danielle Robinson. Check that, Danielle Robinson with a jump serve. Sends it over to Briggs, Cox, Sodich. Macy runs along the net and falls back on the Star side. It'll be side out, Southwestern. Macy, just a freshman. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players from Edmond, Oklahoma on this ball club. Maybe our staff can check and see how close Edmond is to Oklahoma City. I don't think it's that far away. Is that one unable to be dug out of the net? It'll be 20-19. Oklahoma City hanging right in there. They desperately need to tie this back up. You don't want to go down 2-0 when you're away. Deep serve. Smith from the back row. Cox sends it to Sodich. And she does what she does. Another kill shot credited to Jessica. And a timeout flailing her arms, asking for a timeout. It's Nikki Dieball wanted to get that in before the next point.
When you've got a coach wailing her arms like that, really trying to get the attention of the ref, that's when you know that the timeout is really strategic. Sometimes a timeout can be called just because, you know, the game is slow and they want to give their players a break. But that strategic timeout right there, she was frantically trying to get the attention of the ref, really showing that she feels a sense of really desperation in this point in the match. Lions are up 21-19. They've got momentum. Calverley is now at the back line to serve. A consistent server, able to place the ball really wherever she wants to on the court when she's at that back line. So the coach for OKC right now knows that she needs to call this timeout to ice Calverley so that they can get the ball back and really get things going again for their side of the court.
That's a good point. Very good point. As we'll see what happens here as the players come back to the court. Those 5 players from Edmond hail from 3 different schools, so you can imagine these players probably played against one another for quite a few years. Now they've joined forces to play for the Stars in Oklahoma City. And nice play there from, I believe that was Rachel Gable on the left side with the roll, I guess you call it a roll shot or borderline roll shot there. Ends up in a kill, and now it's 21-20 Stars within 1, and now they are tied. Emily Smith late in attacking that middle front part of the court to dig it out, and it is dead even again. It was tied at 7, tied at 11. Now we're tied at 21. Criddle almost got away with one there on the net, and we'll play on. Calverley to Sodich. We knew we'd call her name eventually, and she sends one packing, tipped off the Stars defense. Lions back up by 1. And now the Stars just 3 points away from falling down 2-0. And into the game comes Jasmine Franklin. Not seen her at all until just now. She's making her first entrance, a sophomore from Bay City, Texas. In on the front row. Nice heads-up play from Smith to let that sail over her head.
Now, normally when you have a powerhouse hitter like Sodich on the front row, when she moves to the back row, then the team kind of gets worried that she's not on the front row being able to hit for them. But in this case, you know, Sodich is a special case because she's able to hit like that from the back row too. So we're not at any disadvantage when she goes to the back row, which is great for our team. And we see right here that hit.
Franklin keeps it alive. And now Abbott to Calverley, hits the net and rolls over. Criddle's attack. Now Franklin just into the game and blocked, rejected. I think that was Harden and Criddle on the combo.
And you see there that the momentum that just even, you know, not much of a shift, but just a gain for the Lady Lions. You felt that. There's nothing quite like a stuff block like that to really get momentum on one side of the net.
Set point. At stake. Rachel Gable keeps the Stars alive. She's played well in these first 2 sets. Macy and Gable, top 2 performers for OKC. They've got to get 2 more just to knot things up at 24 and hope to send us into extra points. Lions looking for a 2-0 set lead, and they get it right there. And this time it's Harden with the hammer. The freshman gives the Lions a 2-0 set advantage. Teams will change sides, and the Lions will take that one by 3 after winning the first set by 2. Be sure to stay tuned with all the latest social media avenues here on the SAGU Sports Network. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, and of course SAGU.tv. You can catch all the archives. And let's check down now courtside with Tyler Marie. Tyler?
Thanks, guys. Here I am with SAGU student Holden Lane. Now, Holden, besides being a college student, you also help coach a local 5th and 6th grade girls volleyball team. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this experience and the team you coach?
Well, it's great to be involved in the community and to have the experience that we get from coaching. So.
Now, tonight you chose to bring your girls down to SAGU to watch the SAGU girls volleyball team play. Tell me, why did you choose to do this? What do you want to teach them?
Well, you know, SAGU's a great place to bring a group, a family atmosphere, and so it teaches them that they're freaking me out behind me, but it teaches them sportsmanship, and it teaches them how fast the game actually moves, because a lot of them it's their first time playing, and so it teaches them how to be active and to talk to one another on the court. So
Thank you so much, Holden, and enjoy the rest of the game. Back to you, Rob.
And number 3 is a piece of work. She is glad to be on TV tonight, and perhaps some future Lions hanging around the Schaefer Center tonight.
Pretty far in the future, Rob, but I mean, it's never too early to start recruiting, I guess.
Holden Lane's one of our outstanding seniors here in the Communication Arts Department here at Southwestern. And where's Waldo? He's right here. We have found him right in the center of your frame. There he is. He has been discovered. He lives in Waxahachie. So, adjustments you think the Stars may need to make as they find themselves in a huge hole here beginning set number 3.
I think the main problem that the Stars had in that set was that their back row defense on our really quick plays from the front row just didn't seem to be there most of the time. I think what the coach might be saying to them in this break right here that they have before set 3 is that they really need to make sure that they're not being lazy in where they're getting to the ball. And you saw in set number 2 how much energy the Lady Lions had, and it worked in their favor. Yeah. So if the Stars can do that same thing, having energy in every play that you make will help you get to the ball when you need to be there, and it'll allow you to jump higher, move a little bit quicker. Just having that excitement and the adrenaline is, I think, what they really need if they want to take these sets away from the Lions.
The seniors playing well tonight. And the junior Jessica Sodich honoring her classmates a year ahead of her with some outstanding volleyball as well. Is crowd excited to see this final home game of the season going the Lions' way so far. We'll see if we can make it a sweep tonight. It would be the first sweep the Lions would ever put on the Stars. The one they did win last year went 5 sets, 3-2. In fact, Evan, the first 4 times these two clubs played from 2007, both matches in 07, both in 08, Lions didn't take a single set. But today it's the Stars looking to find some rhythm and just earn a set to stay alive here. It's 1-0. Stars grab the first point of set number 3. Nice dump attempt from the Stars, but the Lions able to keep it alive. But on the next exchange, Harden unable to pull that one back into play will give the Stars a 2-0 lead.
I think on that play, we may have been able to get it up. It happens pretty often that a player falls down before they're able to get the ball. And we've seen, even in a play just like that with Cox hitting a ball so hard to the ground, sometimes you make a decision too quickly to fall down when you can really get there by just staying up on your feet and using your technique and getting lined up to dig the ball.
I am glad I'm up here, not down there, because I would have got hurt. That would have been painful. That hit me. And that ball is going to fall on the Stars' side. Tipped out of bounds. Lions knot things back up at 2 apiece. Briggs, the senior, where's number 10? Sends it deep to the libero. Back set slide and a punch and a kill shot from Megan Irwin. The junior from right here in the DFW area, Arlington, Texas, went to Arlington Martin High School. Gives the Stars a 3-2 lead.
You saw in that play, Rob, Jessica Sodich was right there in the line of shot from that play, but she just needed to be a tad bit lower, and you saw that in how the ball stopped right in between the floor and her hands, and really coming in that perfect position where if she would have been just a couple inches lower, she could have had that up.
And Harden, while we were talking about that play, sent one down the line, and looks like she intentionally went down the right side of the combo block to ricochet that out of bounds. That's exactly what happened. She'll take a quick seat. Nice play from Harden. Back set slide move from Gable, and a double contact called. I think that may be the first of the night.
And that was the first of the night. And you saw there, Alyssa Kirk really not much to work with there. She was pushed way deep into the court, trying to get the ball into a play that would be hard for OKC's defense to come out of. And in that hard push, she was unable to get the ball all the way out without getting that spin.
Now, when does Calverley make the decision? On that last play, she could have gone a back set to Cox or a standard set to Sodich. When does she make that decision to go in front or behind her? Because both Cox and Sodich were ready for the ball.
It's really last minute. There are several factors that play into that. Sometimes obviously if a hitter isn't doing well, then she'll go to the other side. But really when both players are doing well, like Cox and Sodich, it depends on if she's lined up to set the back set, because you have to be in a specific way. You have to be standing in the right way, have your hips lined up to get that shot just where it needs to be. So that's a factor. Or just if she notices the defense is in a certain spot, then she'll send it, and she has to be aware of that constantly.
And both players have to be ready, because it could come either way.
Right. She calls the play before the ball goes into play for that particular point. So every player knows where they're going to be going every time. There's not confusion there, and they have to be running consistently every time, because she could really send it anywhere at any point in the match.
Serve dug out, ground by Macy. Sodich will get 2 contacts on that point. Cross court kept alive by the Stars. Tipped and stayed in bounds anyway. Nice play from the Stars. Front line offense, and they push their lead back to 2. Must win set the rest of the way for the Stars. And Daniel Robinson, the libero, will put the ball into play. And Sodich got a lot of elevation on that one, but Stars defense right there with the block. Now we're seeing, I think it's Maggie Vickers, or let's check that, Jasmine Franklin getting some more playing time in set number 3. And a timeout on the floor. Your score is 8-4. Coach Hank Moore wants to chat about the situation. Doesn't want this set to get out of hand. You want to go ahead and sweep this team if you have them down. So a nice timeout from Coach Moore.
You see him right here taking the time before the timeout to talk with Sodich a little bit. She seems to be a little bit frustrated and down on herself. She was playing so well in the first and second set and has had a couple consecutive errors here in this third set. So he wants to take some time to pull her aside, tell her to take a deep breath, calm down, really focus on the play. She's been having a great match already, so all she has to do is relax and play the game that we know she knows how to play, and the rest of the team will follow suit.
Well, Devin, this will be actually our last broadcast of the season for volleyball here at the Schaefer Center, and really just one more broadcast for the semester. That'll be football, November 16th, to wrap up the fall season of athletic events broadcast on the SAGU Sports Network. But we'll keep you up to date on our Facebook page and Twitter and all the other social media sites on the postseason tournament play, which these Lions will be a part of here. It begins November 14th, likely in Oklahoma Baptist, in Oklahoma City. Calverley. Nice dig from Calverley. Came up from the back row to dig that one out, but the Stars will get the point. 9-5. Ties their largest lead they've enjoyed this set or all match long, 4 points. It's not really panic mode for the Lions, but you want to really get this back to 1 or 2 point deficit and take it from there. That'll help as J.J. Abbott sends one down the line.
You see that play right there. You had on the back row for OKC you had number 8, I believe, is her number, really waiting down the line for that play. She was there in defensive position. She would have had the ball up. Miscommunication on their defense. You had someone diving in front, trying to just swing one arm out to get the ball up, which has caused that shank that we just saw. So had they communicated a little bit better, then OKC may have had that last point back in play.
That was Gable, and she did make the error on that last point as well. Just a bit wide. It's 7-9. Sodich over to Gable. Perhaps intentionally hitting it to her. You mentioned in some other previous broadcasts how the server will, a nice point there up front, how the server will intentionally target a player who may have just made a mistake the point or two before.
And we do that because volleyball is such a mental game. And so if you're unable to snap out of a mistake you just made, then serving to you again really gives the serving team an advantage, because you're going to be defeated already and then make another error. And when errors just begin to pile on top of each other, it gives points to the serving team and also gives them a target of who to go to on the court, so they can send even offensive plays from the front line they can send to that same defensive player.
Okay, I have a fun question for you. After this point, a nice tip serve off the net. And a whistle. And I believe it's going to be a
net violation on number 5 for OKC.
Okay, here's the question. Since you played volleyball in high school and college, I just got to know. Because I'll admit, when I played a little basketball, sometimes I couldn't help myself, and I would ill-advisedly sometimes, you know, get involved in a little playful trash talk. And just all in fun. But my question to you is there ever any, we'll back off the word trash talk, but any conversation, perhaps of slight intimidation or something of that nature, ever happen between the players on the net for the opposing side? Or is it pretty much leave each other alone?
Well, I'm sure you would think that because volleyball is a girls' sport in this situation, that we're all ladies and we don't do that. But when we're on the court, we get a little competitive. I think that's okay. But oftentimes you don't see a lot of that banter, which you would think you would, having players so close on the front row. It really only happens when one team is really, really struggling, and you have, you know, maybe players on the opposing front lines that know each other, have a history, you know, girls, dramatic pass. That would really be when that would come in. But as far as, you know, just a normal, really good competitive game, that's not really necessary.
See, I could never back up my trash talk, so I just stopped early. It just didn't work for me. So
well, hopefully you learned early enough.
yes. Nice point right there for the Lady Lions. They cut the lead to 1. 12-11. Briggs, the senior, as you see that play right down the middle. Back set slide. Success. Megan Irwin, the local product from Arlington, pushed the lead back to 2 in a critical set 3 for the Stars. She's been playing really well today, along with Macy, the freshman from Edmond. Gable sends it over. It could be Harden. It will be Harden. Block tip off the front of the row, off the front row. And Briggs with an amazing stop, and then Sodich, and now here's the free ball from the libero. Smith battled in front of the net, play on, but now a whistle and a net violation called against, I believe it will be called against Rachel Gable. And now the captain's going to talk to the referee.
What actually happened there, Rob, is a back row attack. Number 1, who's currently talking with the ref right now, their back row setter, she was in front of the 10-foot line, and there was a battle, a joust at the net. She jumps up, tries to fight against the Lady Lions blockers right there. When she's back row, jumping up, making contact with the ball above the plane, that's when they call a back row attack. So you see number 1, the floor captain, going back in between the ref and the coach, trying to argue that play, that she wasn't, in fact, playing above the plane, but the ref decided to overrule.
It's Hannah Mitchum arguing her case. The Lions will win that one. And that sails just wide and just deep. Briggs backed off at the last possible moment. And we are tied, 13 apiece, and the Lions take their first lead of set number 3. And there's that wide swinging action, the arm action of Megan Irwin. Doesn't work this time. Goes into the net. Hits the net. And Kirk, the senior, will send the ball in. Sodich with the single block. Timeout on the floor. Lions up by 2.
Now, I'm not in the gym right now, but I'm sitting up here in the booth, and I can kind of feel that the Lady Lions really want this game. The way that they're playing really shows that they want to win this game. And yes, they could take it to 4 or 5, but they want to win it in 3. They want to sweep OKC. And in these last couple of points, OKC has seemed kind of defeated, and I think the coach is feeling that, calling this strategic timeout yet again to try and shift their attitude, shift their mindset to try and get back in the game. It really is only a 2-point loss for them right now. They're only behind 13-15. Not a huge deficit, but the momentum makes it seem much bigger than it is.
I think Coach Moore wants this set really bad because that will leave in the memories of the Stars a sweep, a 3-0 sweep, should they face each other again in less than 2 weeks. That's the last thing on their mind is this Lions team swept us. And so you can use that 2 ways, for revenge, or it can be of, they really beat us pretty bad, and can we do it again? So Moore wants to definitely send a message that the Lions will be ready to play them in postseason tournament play, should they meet. Kirk, back row attack. Gable with the dump or the tip, and Cox right there on top of it.
You saw she wasn't going to put up with that off-speed, easy play coming over by Gable. She was right there when she needed to be. She timed her jump completely perfectly and was able to get that solo block.
Gable again, first and third contact, sends it over. Short set. Tip from Cox. Good defense up front. Easy ball for the back row. Sodich, though, with a mistake. Perhaps the set wasn't high enough, or Sodich jumped too late. Either way, the timing just off on that exchange.
There was a combination on that play, Rob. Calverley set kind of a quick set out to Sodich. She wasn't really in position to run that sort of play, so she had to drop her elbow and get that attempt at a roll shot and hit it straight into the block.
Smith digs that one out. Sodich with the right hand, jumping left, hitting right, but it is Kristen Macy ends that exchange with a true kill shot right down the middle. 16-15, Lions still up by 1. Jump serve just clears the net. Sodich with the roll. Now here's Franklin. Cox right there. And now coming to life, Kristen Macy with 2 consecutive kill shots. Pulls the Stars back to a tie, 16 apiece.
When you have a strong hitter like that on the front row, it's important for, in this case, the Lady Lions, when Macy's now in the front row hitting these balls so hard, always, consistently being there, as we see in this set. It's important, like in that last point, we saw Cox trying to get that ball up off speed on the front row. She sent it over the net, really giving them a set, assisting the other team. And we have to make sure that we don't give them easy plays like that.
And there is a deep push from Cox, sailed over the entire defense. Watch this as she sends it way over, saw the back left corner wide open, and she is just as thrilled about that as it would be a typical Cox kill.
And Cox really is able to see plays like that, and that makes her such a great player. She can hit the ball and really come through as a strong leading middle hitter, but she also is smart, and she doesn't have to get the recognition of being able to hit the ball hard. She knows that that's not always going to score, so she takes a minute to look at the court, pan over to see what spots are open, sends that deep push back, which doesn't show that she's a strong hitter, but shows that she's a really smart player.
Lines up by 1. That's down the line. I believe that again was Macy. She keeps pace. We're back up tied again. It was Macy. Right down the line, Briggs. Unable to get in position. Now Criddle up front. Stars in trouble. Could be a free ball. Will be. Gives the Lions a chance. And the dump from Calverley.
You saw right there, Briggs sends that free ball. We always try and send a free ball as quick as possible to the setter because that doesn't give the defense enough time to set up. So you really want a free ball play to be as quick as possible. Briggs did an excellent job of pushing the ball as quick as she could to Taylor Calverley on that play, and she really, you know, took the ball as fast as she could, dumped it over, and now the momentum is back on the side of the Lady Lions, and we've got a 20-18 lead, which has been the same score in sets 1 and 2. We've had that same just small lead, but crucial in where we are in the game, and we've got now timeout being called before the 22-23 point mark, but it's because of that momentum shift that the Lady Lions are playing so well, gelling so well together, that it's important to call a timeout before it gets too close to the end of this set and this match.
And Macy, who's played so well, made a mistake on that kill attempt, and it sailed deep, which triggered that timeout from Nikki Dyball, as she knows we're essentially at mistake-free volleyball at your 20-point mark. When your opponent reaches 20 points, you've said it many times on our broadcast, that's when things really get serious. You got to grind down and play your best volleyball. So it's pretty much do or die right now for Coach Dyball and her ball club. Moore sets his defense. Calverley puts the ball in play. Back set, slide attempt, combo block rejection from Criddle, and I think Sodich got the piece of it that mattered, and now 4 points away from a 3-0 sweep. Calverley, the senior, over to Gable. It'll be Macy, dug out by Calverley. Over to Sodich. She winds and fires, and off the hands of Macy. And the Lions extend their lead to 4, largest of the third set.
And that momentum shift that really the Lions have been able to keep is what I mentioned earlier in this set, where we can just tell that they really want to win this game. And OKC is really feeling defeated. You see them trying to scream at each other to get, you know, their minds back in the game. But these errors that they're making just show defeat, and it's really up to them at this point to shift it around. They can still come up, and we've had comebacks, you know, at a
kick from Smith.
You see that kick,
and Criddle falls on the floor. The ball was high enough in the air where there should have been some SAGU player to dig it out, but it seemed like no one wanted that second touch. What happened there?
We may have all been laughing at that kick play that brought the ball up in the air.
Here it is again, as the ball gets kicked up in the air, and everyone just was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then no one dug it out. Criddle on the ground. It was too late to center it up. And now 2 in a row. Could this be a huge change of momentum right here at the Schaefer Center, as the Stars have pulled it within 3 and will not go down easily? Smith to Cox. It's Abbott's turn, and another combo block success from the Stars. 3 straight points, 23-21. And now a timeout from the Lions. Now Coach Moore wants to talk it over and say, girls, the set's right here. Let's go finish it.
We've got 23-21. The Lions are so close to pulling this 3-game sweep. And we've seen Emily Smith, the libero for the Lady Lions, kind of throw that foot out. She's trying to, you know, be as quick as possible and get a play up. But now, as we've got a closer point right here, only 21-23, the Lions don't have that lead where they can just kind of throw arms and feet out in this case. So it's really going to be important that Emily Smith, as the libero, sets the tone for getting your body there, pulling your arms into position, and making sure that you're there defensively. You can't just throw a foot out and expect that to work every time. It happens every once in a while that you get the ball up, but that's definitely not a play that you want to rely on as a defensive player.
Tori Smith, the freshman, will put the ball into play. One of the players from Norman, Oklahoma, as well as Edmond, quite a few from both cities. And that one's going to hit the back left corner. What a play from the Lions.
And you see the coach right here arguing that it went outside the antenna.
Maybe we can see it again. If that ball went on the outside of the antenna. Well, we've reached set point and match point. It'll be Sodich with the serve, back set slide, tip, saved by Abbott. It lands just out of bounds, and the Stars stay alive. First set, 4-point margin. Set number 2, a 3-point margin. This one's down to 2 points, 24-22. Harden sends it over. Cavalry with a quick reflex. Harden again with the push, the back left corner, misplayed by the libero. Could be a free ball. It will be. Now Smith going to be near the net, and that's a little mistake from Smith as she sends that pass too high into the net, and punching it down is Tori Flynn. It's 24-23.
Like I said, we see now 24-23. It's any team's game. It was a 22-18. And OKC decided to take that opportunity to come back.
And a push and a dive, and now it's 24 apiece, and we're going to go into some extra points as Southwestern has let this set slip away back to a 24-all tie. They were up by 3 just a moment ago, and here the Stars on the attack. Some costly mistakes from Southwestern. Can they recover in time? Push. Just out of bounds. Sodic chose to let it go.
Oh, that's a risky play by Sodic right there, but you saw her kind of decide last minute if she was going to go for that. And luckily it was out of bounds. It was so close that, you know, she really probably could have played it either way, but she made the right decision, letting the ball fall out of bounds.
Match point again. And it is J.J. Abbott will send us home. And the Lions sweep the Stars for the first time ever, 3-0 here at the Schaefer Center. What a furious finish from the Lions. Almost found something, dug deep, and pulled this one out.
We know that Coach Moore is going to be so proud of his seniors tonight, really taking ownership of the fact that this is their last game to ever play on this court. And what better way to go out on that note than sweeping a team you've never swept before and being able to end on that record and leave that, like you said, that memory in the minds of OKC that next time they meet up in postseason, if they happen to, then they're going to be coming out of just being swept by the Lady Lions.
4-point win in set 1, 3-point in set 2, and 2 points in, I guess we call it overtime or extra points in set number 3. So just a 3-point average margin of victory. They've been tight, and there's a good chance these two teams you see praying in center court will meet again in postseason conference play, as the Lions will statistically jump over the Stars in the conference standings now with a 1-game lead on the win column, now even with 6 losses each in the loss column. So there's your final, 25-21, 25-22, and 26-24. Devin, final thoughts on what you saw today as these teams, both teams prepare, perhaps 1 or 2 games left. SAGU has 2 games left. We're not sure about the OKC squad, but postseason conference play has got to be in their sights at this point.
Well, and you know, on this turnout of the game, you wouldn't be able to blame it on the fact that we had that long 30-minute break at the beginning of the set, because both teams had to wait that out, and both teams were standing still, waiting for the ball to be in play finally after all the senior recognition. So that was just the same on either side of the court. So what this was the Lions came out wanting to win this match. They wanted to win. They fought every single point, and you could see that in the way that they played each and every ball.
We're going to take a very, very quick timeout and come right back. We've got 2 seniors, Cox and Caverly, lined up to talk in just a moment. In fact, let's go there right now. We are ready now to take you down courtside. Tyler Marie, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Here I am with Cassie Cox and Taylor Calvary. Guys, tell me what it was like winning your final home game here at SAGU in front of all of your fans.
It was awesome, and that was a really crucial game as far as rankings and conference, so that was a really big win for us.
I could not have imagined a better senior night. I mean, that was amazing.
Now, as a senior, what will you take out of your 4 years playing SAGU volleyball?
What will I take? Mainly, I guess, all the things I learned as far as like relationships and spiritually, academically, everything that volleyball pushes you to be within a team.
I'll just remember my friends and teammates and my coach.
Thank you so much, guys, and congratulations. Back to you, Rob.
Congratulations again to all the seniors, especially those two walking off the court now. They've been a joy to watch all season long. Devin, your two former teammates, Cox and Calverley, were at it again tonight.
It was a great match as a senior, not necessarily on the court anymore, but having come in with these players my freshman year, I think they really deserved this match tonight. They put in the work, and they've been here 4 years. They've really worked hard. They've gelled with Coach Moore. They've gelled with each other. And you see that duo between Calverley and Cox shows, obviously they wouldn't be that way coming in as freshmen, but they've spent all this time playing together for 4 seasons, being able to come together, learn each other much better, and come out on top like they did tonight. And like Calverley said, she couldn't have imagined a better senior night, and I think she's exactly right. I think this is just what they needed going into postseason, and it's a great note to end on for their home season here at the Schaefer Center.
Well, I want to end this broadcast on another note, and thank you, Devin, for a wonderful run up here in the broadcast booth. You've been a great partner to work with. Appreciate that very much. Your skill and your knowledge of volleyball have really add a lot of value to our broadcast, and we really appreciate you joining us on the SAGU Sports Network team this year on our broadcast crew. So on behalf of my partner Devin Gwines, our executive producer John Cookman, our producer Tim Roberts, our entire amazing student crew, this is Rob Price saying thanks for watching SAGU Volleyball here on the SAGU Sports Network. We'll see you in a few weeks at Lumpkin Stadium in our final broadcast of the season. It'll be football at Lumpkin Stadium. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace.